KVRR Sports Director Keith Albertson has our lead story.
Guys, there were definitely plenty of surprises when the team met with President Trump on Monday morning. The schedule was very strict, or so it seemed, but that was quickly thrown out the window as President Donald Trump does what he likes to do best. He improvised. For the second year in a row, Virginia men's basketball making history, but this time it's the good kind of history. 1 year after getting bounced from the big dance as a 1 seed against a 16 for the first time ever, they rebound in the biggest way possible. Now, as the team ushers in the Matt Entz coaching era, they are excited to continue that tradition. The goal, as always, to get back to Toyota Stadium. Frisco extending the contract of the FCS championship through 2025. We'll see if the Bison can keep coming back. Allowing the third fewest yards in the NFL a year ago was still only good enough to get the Vikings to 8-8 on the season. But today, Minnesota locked down a cornerback who was locked down for them a year ago. Xavier Rhodes is set to play for the Vikes through the year 2022 after signing a 5-year extension with the club earlier today. Hey, happy Thursday. Minnesota Twins haven't been great on the road this season at 12-18 coming into today. They had a chance to get a series win against the Tigers, though. No Miguel Sano in the lineup today. He was actually demoted, not just to AAA, but all the way down to Single-A Fort Myers. Michael Fulmer making the start for Detroit. He gives up a run in the first, then settles down nicely. Robbie Grossman and Eddie Rosario are sent packing. Lance Lynn was keeping pace on the other side of things. He has a shutout going in the 6th inning. Detroit's Candelario fouls it off behind the dugout. Check out this fan. Save the beer, save the beer. Great one-handed grab. Third time through the lineup, the Tigers get to Lynn. John Hicks sends it to the gap. It's triples alley. And then he would score on this sac fly to tie things up at 1 apiece. But the tie wouldn't last long. Jacoby Jones leans into that one. It's a 2-run blast, and the Tigers take the rubber match 3-1. It's the 6th start in a row for Lynn, where he's given up 3 runs or fewer. The Twins have only won 3 of those 6 games. Minnesota falls to 14-10 against AL Central opponents, and they have 3 more coming up this weekend as the Twins remain on the road to face Cleveland. The Vikings wrapping up the 3rd and final day of minicamp, and for QB Kirk Cousins, it was all about ending on a high note. The former Redskins gunslinger looked to shake off a not-so-successful day 2 of camp, which consisted of 2 red zone picks, a pair of overthrown passes, and lack of overall accuracy. But day 3 proved much better for the newcomer. The Vikes staff is impressed with his focus and precision on all the little things.
He did a few things out there today that unless you knew he did, you would have no idea he did. In terms of changing the protection, in terms of using a unique cadence to help us identify the defensive front, the defensive coverage, all those things, the blitz periods. I mean, our defense was bringing the heat pretty good today. So he did some subtle things that tells you that he's really understanding the little intricacies of what we're trying to accomplish.
Cousins and the Vikings begin training camp at the end of July. World Cup beginning today in Russia. Time for me to take my name mispronunciations to a whole new level. The host nation taking on Saudi Arabia in the opener. 12th minute, Russia get on the board with a header. Some dome action from Yuri Gazinski. Home fans are pretty happy with that. Waning minutes of the first half, Denis Cheryshev with some foot wizardry. That's how you beat the defense. The Russians add 3 more goals late to win it 5-0. On to the 118th U.S. Open now, the second of 4 major tournaments beginning play today in Southampton, New York. Tiger Woods has played a decade of golf since his last major victory, which came in the U.S. Open 10 years ago. He's been working hard to get back on top of the leaderboard. 3rd shot of the day from the par 4 first. He leaves it a little bit short. Gravity not working in his favor here, and gravity is a pretty critical part of golf. Tiger stands helplessly watching as his ball rolls down the hill. At least his next shot is puttable, so we won't have to worry about that again. Does leave it short, but the ball stays there for a second. Then it starts coming back. Oh boy, that's not ideal. Why don't we just watch that roll all the way down the hill? Woods triple bogeys the hole and shoots +8 on the day. Jordan Spieth was having some similar gravitational problems. He thought this was going to stay up there. Hurry up, mark it. Nope, that's going to come on back down. Spieth joins Tiger at 8 over par. Not everyone struggled, though. It's just more fun watching those guys. Ian Poulter on the par 3 11 comes dangerously close to making a hole-in-one That's an easy birdie. Poulter is in a tie for the lead at 1 under. Scott Piercy, Russell Henley, and Dustin Johnson all went into the clubhouse at -1. Jason Duffner a shot behind the leaders. Scott Gregory did something pretty special today. He shot a 92. That's bad. No one has had that bad of a round at the U.S. Open since 2002. It's not the worst round ever, though. Someone in 1898 shot a 157 at the U.S. Open. 1898. I'd love to see the clubs they were using back then.
Long time ago.
Not exactly the same science going into the clubs as there is
Fun to
now.
watch that ball roll down the hill, though, isn't
I'm
it?
sure that's not probably what they
fun
thought.
for them. Thanks, Keith. During his tenure at NDSU, Greg Menard has been a force. He is 4th on the all-time career sacks list and climbing up the ladder. The 3 players above him were all drafted into the NFL.
But Menard's skill set goes deeper than his play on the gridiron, as he fits the mold of an ideal student athlete. Keith Albertson reports.
He is a quarterback's worst nightmare. Greg Menard has built a reputation as one of the best pass rushers in the FCS. The senior has 7.5 sacks through 10 games, but if everything went according to plan, Menard wouldn't even be playing college football anymore.
Simmons is sacked on that play by number 96, Greg Menard.
He was supposed to exhaust his final year of eligibility in 2017. That was before a season-ending knee injury changed his plans.
It was terrible. That was probably one of the lowest moments of my life. I was just so sad.
Menard tore his ACL in fall camp, forcing him to redshirt and return in 2018. But instead of dwelling on the missed opportunity, Menard found another one. He decided to use the extra year to his advantage in the classroom, where he could now spread out his studies as he works toward his degree.
Should have earned it last semester, but I decided to kind of take an easier semester this year.
Easier is relative. He isn't simply coasting his way to the easiest degree he could find. Menard is 3 credits away from a civil engineering degree, and he currently holds a 3.9 grade point average. In addition to his on-the-field accolades, Menard continues to rack up an impressive array of academic honors, one after the other. Menard and his teammates think he deserves to be in the running for another award as well.
Biggest nerd.
Biggest nerd.
Nerd.
The biggest nerd on the team. I'm up there. I'm high up there.
Nerd, Greg.
No hesitation.
No hesitation, Greg. Probably say Greg, maybe.
Maybe Greg or somebody. I feel like Greg's a really big nerd.
Greg Menard is the biggest nerd. Greg Menard is definitely the biggest nerd.
Menard says he doesn't mind being considered a nerd. He views it as a compliment of the way he can balance so many things.
I kind of think if you're doing bad in one aspect of your life, it's going to carry over to the other aspects of your life. Coach Entz always talks about that. If you're doing bad in the classroom, you're not going to be doing good on the football field, and if you're doing good, you're going to be doing good on the football field. And so I kind of use that as my mindset and try to kind of take it slow and just make sure I do the little things right. North Dakota and Minnesota boast some of the best junior sled hockey players in the country. Many of them aspire to be Paralympians someday. And as a selective elite camp opens up next month, these juniors are not letting their disabilities or even their genders stand in the way. Hope Inc. is an organization specializing in giving active opportunities to people with mobility challenges. Hope has sponsored sled hockey for 8 years, and this year the Hurricanes junior team took the national title in the top division.
That is very cool. That was fun. That was really cool.
Grant Bozier has only been honing his craft for a couple of years. But last season, he scored an invitation to an elite camp open to fewer than 60 kids around the country. And while the camp sharpened his skills, it also amplified his affection for the sport.
It motivated me a lot. I just really try to train hard and try and get back there and be better.
And he is heading back this summer. Bozier won't be alone, though. 2 of his teammates will be going with him, including the first female representative from Hope.
After the coaches and the elite people realize what women can actually do, they start realizing they are the same as men. They can do as much as men too.
Even with that being the case, only 1 in 7 people invited to the elite camp are women. The representation is not balanced yet, but 13-year-old Kirkpatrick says it's a good building off point.
Now that women are able to join the camp, they're being recognized for their talent, for their passionate for hockey, and for their time for the hockey.
Good job, guys.
Bill Gromich, the founder of Hope Inc., recognizes that passion and talent with Kirkpatrick.
For her to make this camp incredible, especially as a girl, I fully anticipate that she's going to make the national women's team. Again, she's tougher than nails. She's an athlete, and again, I'm glad she's on our side.
North Dakota State Athletics has the day off for Christmas, but Bison football coach Chris Kleiman still has a message for NDSU fans as they celebrate the holiday season.
Good afternoon. I wish everyone real happy Christmas, but more importantly, we have to do a really good job of being closer as people. I really think Christmas is something really special. In a perfect world, it's family first, and family is the number one thing that matters. And it's a special day, but in the midst of the adversity that we face as a community, obviously challenges continue to build, but we always are going to be there for each other, and that's the thing that I see so much, and that's where I think we are having some great growth.
We're really excited to see our depth. Yeah, big thing this year is going to be our depth.
Our depth of our team. You know, like I said, from year to year, I think we've had
a lot of high-end guys with like Brock Besser and Tyson Jost.
You know, that kind of high-profile player that everybody kind of keeps an eye on.
But this year, I think we're going to have a lot of
depth that we touched on.
We got a ton of good players all the way up and
down our lineup. You can tell that we have skill, you know, throughout our whole lineup. And
first line to fourth line, anyone's going to be able to score this year. So we're really excited about that.
It's going to be a year that. We're going to score by
committee, that defends by committee, and that wins by committee.
My favorite is just when he says, wow, every time he picks a number. And I ask a question, he says, wow.
What gives your life purpose?
Wow.
What's the most exotic place you've been to then?
Exotic, wow.
Do you like cities or small towns?
Wow.
Wow, okay, wow.
Okay,
You're asking me what my favorite class was. Wow.
If you could go back in time, what would you change? This is a tough one.
Wow. And I won't say wow this time.
What gives your life purpose?
Oh, wow. What do I feel strongly about? Wow. I can't believe I say wow every time. I do say wow every time.
You say wow a lot. We can just edit all of this out.
Okay.
Best mean mug?
Oh, the best mean mug.
Best mean mug on the team?
Probably Levi. Definitely Levi. Yes, Levi for sure. Levi's a killer.
Yeah. Adam Cofield.
Adam Cofield.
Adam Cofield, I think, used to be in prison.
He does not smile at all.
Because he just got that look, like, you just mean mug everybody.
Unless you crack a joke, he might laugh for 2 seconds, but then that's over.
Tanner Volson's always, his face is always maybe mean mugging, and maybe he won't like me saying that.
Probably one of the Volsons, just because they're giant human beings, and it doesn't even take much.
I think Steidel, because he does it a lot.
Definitely probably Aaron Seidel.
Ooh, I don't know. Nate Jensen's got a pretty good one. That mustache is really deceiving, that's for sure.
So you go Wimbush and jeans here?
That's good. I'd be laughing at him, I don't know.
I'm sure that's really intimidating for you.
I don't mean mug. I laugh at the dude in his face. Like, I'll smile at the guy.
I can't do it.
Yeah, I laugh at them because they think they can stop us and they can't. So it's just funny to me.